Hey everybody, My Secret Weapon here. Welcome back to our Let's Play Faster Than Light. This is episode 2. We're in Sector 3 now. So let's jump right back into it. Alrighty. Yeah, no, we're totally not going to pay a toll for a pirate, especially we can wipe the floor with them. Alright, so, you notice last time we upgraded and I didn't talk about this much, we upgraded the sensors and now we have the ability to see inside of their ship. We can see what kind of crew they have, how much crew, where they're going, things like that. With certain types of devices like boarding, or what do they call it, the crew teleporter or transporter, it's really useful to know what they have on their ship before you send a boarding party over. The only thing on their ship right now at all that may cause any kind of trouble is the boarding drone here. If they decide to send it over, it'll puncture a hole in the ship wherever they make it land, and they're kind of a pain to get rid of. Other than that, they have a regular burst laser or just a beam laser, whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's just a burst laser 1, and it's just not going to be able to get through our shields on its own. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is take out their droid control. Hopefully I can get the missile off before they send it out, but we'll see. And I missed it, so we'll hit it with that. Okay, and for now that that stops that from being sent over. Um, yeah, you see he has no shot at getting through our shields. And I'm also going to destroy their cockpit to make sure that when we aim for their shields next, it hits 100%. Oh, well, they repaired it fast. So they have an Engie in there, so that makes sense. Either way, we shouldn't have much of a problem. Now they're powering up their FTL drive, so we'll just aim for that cockpit, and we'll send an Artemis out of the engines. Again, I don't like to use this more than I have to, but... And with that, 5 fuel is actually not bad. We're going to go ahead and accept it this time. Normally I won't accept it, but we were running kind of low on fuel, so it was probably worth it there. Let's hop over to the store and see what they have to offer. Crew teleporter, which I can't afford. I would love to get cloaking. It's just not something I can do quite yet. Let's go ahead and repair the ship. I normally don't, but we can't buy anything, and I don't need to upgrade shields again until the end of 4. So we might as well just repair that hull, and we'll just go from there. I might try to start saving up for that cloaking. It would be kind of nice. Here we go. We can trade some fuel for 5 missiles. I think that's a fair trade myself. Normally you want to keep a high amount of fuel, but we're also running low on missiles, so I'll take that trade. Another relatively easy fight. Now these here, these send larger beams out, but I still don't think they're going to be able to punch through the shields in time, especially since we have someone on shields, so we should be safe no matter what. Um, like I said, since they're not able to, I'm going to try to spare the shield or the missiles in general, because I don't think they can get through. We'll find out though. Yeah, they just don't have the punch power, so I'm not even going to waste the Artemis missile on this one. If it gets to a point where like maybe they're about to jump and I need to disable them really quick, I may, but otherwise, there's just no point. I got rid of one of those. I don't even know why I did that. It's worthless to do that right now since they can't punch through anyway. Alright, we're getting those shields down. Let's see if we can disable them entirely. Actually, we're going to go ahead and aim for that since the shields are temporarily disabled. That way, whenever we aim for the shields again, we hit. Oh, good timing. They decided to jump. We're going to disable the engine. Nope. We're going to disable the shield entirely. And then, if we can, we'll disable the engine. And we're not going to accept your offer. We are just going to blow you out of the sky. and we got a much better reward for doing so. This shows you right here how good it is to have that those shields upgraded. By Sector 3, if you have 2 shields, you can usually outlast a lot of the earlier fights. And it might get a little more hairy as we get into Sector 4, which is why usually by the end of 4, I like to make sure I have 3 shields, and then by the time we end 7, I'll have full shields. Okay, another empty zone. Oh, wait, nope, we got an Engie on there. I wasn't. No, we didn't. Okay, he just came with it. I saw something about Engie and I wasn't paying attention. Let's go here. Whenever I jump between places, I like to go to the sectors that have the most possible linking like sectors with them. Just a larger chance of finding like distress signals and shops and things like that. Um, this could be definitely be a trap. I know that you can get some really good stuff if it's successful. We'll go ahead and send it. We got some intruders, but that's all right. We are going to send. Well, they don't have enough power to punch through our shields with that, so we should be fine. Um, we can probably just we can send this over here, and then I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Yeah, actually, we're going to send these guys in here, and we are going to open up all of this and just let them start suffocating. We'll see if it happens. It may not. And then we're going to just continue working on this over here. I am going to destroy that drone bay because they have a repair droid in there, so if I can disable that, that'll make all this a lot easier. And then we'll go for the shields, which we missed again. And now they're probably going to disable that cockpit. It's alright if they do, it's not too big a deal. I'll repair it later. They don't, like I said, they don't have the punch power to get through anyway, so we don't need the evasion. You know, we're going to move him out there, and we're going to take this guy in here. Again, we don't need the evasion right now, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, you can see with those upgraded doors, they are starting to suffocate now. Um, just from the lack of oxygen in the room, so you know that pays out pretty well. All right, and we're actually going to let them in here. And we're going to send a couple guys over and fight with them for a little bit. We need to close off the ship there too, because we don't want our guys suffocating. We'll let the air come back in here. And they set a trap for us. We're not going to let them surrender like that, or we're not going to accept their surrender. Wow. That shows why it's really important to take out that cockpit if you're able to do so. Alright guys, kind of getting a little weak here. Cool. We'll send our Engie back over here to repair this while he finishes off that dude. And then we'll get everyone into the med bay. Oh, not you. You don't need to be in there. Alright, so we still have some low oxygen rooms. I found that if you open all the doors within the ship, those fill up a lot quicker. So that's something good to know. And then, of course, you want to make sure you close them back again before you get into any fights or anything like that. Because if you get anyone boarding your ship, you want to be able to slow them down wherever you can. Alright, so we have a store, a distress signal. Let's play it like this. We're going to skip this store over here because the one item I want, I can't afford anyway. Let's explore that asteroid field. Nothing in it. We'll go to the distress signal and then up to the other store and see what we get. And the stasis chamber here is actually part of a quest line. If you get it early enough, which we probably could do now, I think if you get it before Sector 5 and you find one of the Zoltan experiments, it can take you on the quest to get one of the ship unlocks. I don't remember. It's rare that I get it this early, so I might go ahead and take it. Otherwise, you could get a weapon and spare scrap. But we're gonna go ahead and try that out and see if I get lucky. And you'll get the damaged stasis pod, which sits in your equipment bay with your augmentations, and it doesn't do anything. So we need to find. Hopefully, we can find someone to repair it. And I think we have enough time to hit this distress signal, hit the store, and then get out. And that gives us the best chance for finding that cloaking device, assuming the store has it. So here's something cool. I don't know if we've seen any of these before. I don't think we have. Um, in some discussions, you'll see options for blue, or options highlighted in blue. Those are almost always, and I could probably go ahead and say always, good choices to what you're doing. They always provide a positive result for you, or at least they never provide a negative result, I guess I should say. They may not provide any result at all, or they'll provide positive but never negative. In this case, we have a distress signal from an orbiting space station, and normally we could destroy the defense system, and it may or may not work. We could leave them alone and do nothing. In this case, we have an Engi crew member who could repair it remotely without even having to leave the ship. So we're able to fix that, get some extra scrap, which puts us exactly where we want to be, in case the store has the cloaking device. No, we don't need to repair. We're good. And it wasn't one of the stores I wanted, but that's okay. We have enough scrap to hit up the next store that we see in the next sector, and we're going to just go ahead and make that jump over there. Trying to stay ahead in front of that rebel, trying to stay ahead of that rebel fleet. Blah. Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and attack that. And he has an ion beam, or an ion cannon of some kind, and then a beam laser, I should say. Yeah, that's a beam. I think this ion doesn't have the power to take our shields out, so the beam weapon is useless. Again, we're at a point where we don't even have to use the Artemis, and we're going to gun for his weapons first, just to be sure. It'll hit the shields, and it'll take one of them out, but we still have one up, so... And then we're going to disable this cloaking, so he doesn't do that anymore. And then we'll just finish him off. And there's several styles of play. You've seen me mostly do... whenever I attack a ship, I like to disable their weapons first and then go for shields and other vital systems. A lot of people take the shields out first to make it easier to get to the weapons. A lot of it depends on the type of weapons you have at your disposal. And of course, just a personal preference. I like to try to avoid as much damage as possible. So if I'm able to take their weapons out first, I'll ignore the shields and go straight for them. Sometimes it's not an option, but, And we have quite a bit of scrap. So we got a new weapon, a bomb. Now bombs are cool because they actually teleport into a ship. So rather than having to, worry about whether or not it's going to miss or hit, it teleports right on. And sometimes you miscalculate, but it tends to have a higher success rate. And it can bypass shields, just like missiles. So, which is really, really nice. Generally, I don't use them. The only bomb I ever use is the ion bomb. I'll probably end up selling this one for the extra scrap. So, all right, we're going to move on to Sector 4. And this is actually Zoltan sector, so we might have a good shot at finding what we were looking for. The Zoltan experiment or whatever. And I really don't want to go through the nebula, but I don't think I have a lot of choice, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so this guy, again, he's got a bomb, which that could do some damage to us. And then these two together combined can't do anything. We're going to go ahead and aim for those weapons first, though, and get that bomb out of the question. And then I'll aim for the cockpit to destroy his evasion, that way we don't miss anymore. Just like that. And then, I'll do 3 damage the next round, so it doesn't matter where I target. You could target just an empty bay if you wanted to, like this. And it does the trick, so. Some more scrap. We're in a really, really good position right now. Let's go ahead and hit up this store, might as well. See what they have. Okay, so they do have the cloaking, and we do have the scrap for it. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. And we're going to make a couple quick adjustments here. We need 1 more power to control that cloaking device. I probably won't upgrade it past 1. It's one of those things I only ever use for a quick burst of evasion. So we'll only ever leave that at 1. And I'm going to start working on my shields. Now I can put the 2 points in now here, and then the next chance I get, we're going to need to add some more power. I think it's still 25 for the rest of this row, so I think 50 is all I need. At most, it would be 55, because the next upgrade cost will start at 30, and then goes up to 35 after that. So I think it's all 30 for this line, then 35 for the last. So it should stay at 25 for this. Either way, we need to finish that up, and then we'll have our third block of shields by the end of Sector 4, like I was talking about. And since we're at the store, well, I'm thinking about it. Let's go ahead and sell this bomb. I don't need it. So. And that will give us, actually, we can buy one more block of energy, and if we want, we can disable something like the med base, since we don't need it right now anyway, and pop on the shield. And then if we ever have to, we can sacrifice something like engines or cloaking, and have our med bay going again. So I try to keep everything running if I can, but once you get it all maxed out, it's impossible to have everything maxed out with power at the same time, so you eventually have to prioritize. So we'll hop back into the Nebula and see if we can't find ourselves a Zoltan ship somewhere in here that's going to get us that stasis pod going. Again, these guys have a bomb, so they have the potential to get past our shields. They only have one shield, though, so my laser should have the... yeah, has a chance to get through, and of course we disabled the bomb, so that's good. Now, as far as the system choosing which weapons get disabled, whenever your systems start getting disabled over here, as they get hit, they disable from right to left. So the first thing that would be knocked out would actually be the Artemis and then the burst laser. So that's good to know. You prioritize your weapons based on that. So, you know, your most important weapons you always want in the very last spot, in the leftmost spot. And then you can... that way, if something gets knocked out, you have your strongest weapon available. You know, I don't use the Artemis all that often anyway, so it's best to have that ready to be knocked out if something were to happen. Oh man, we are just suffering right now. This guy's got good evasion. Gonna try and take out this cockpit to try and drop some of those. There we go. That's actually not a bad offer. I'm going to still try to kill him and see if I can get more though. Yeah, we ended up getting more. We got more fuel and more scrap. Don't really need the drone parts. We're not using them. Which we might start looking into getting some defense drones or something, but right now it's not too big a deal. Okay, so now we've actually hit a supernova. I hate these. They disable way more systems, and you have to start prioritizing what goes on if you're in the middle of a fight. I think we could probably get out of this one alive. Without having a fight, and I'm probably going to do that because we're going to take a lot of damage if we try to fight this one, I think. So automated rebel scouts can be really, really bad, especially if you're not having a chance to see what it is. So we're going to use our cloaking device, or no, we're going to use the engines to try to outrun it. So we didn't, and now we have to prioritize here. He's got the ability to shut our shields down in one shot with this, and then hit us once with the beam here. We're also having an issue now with the oxygen being out completely, and we're going to be at low evasion. I'm going to kill the engines entirely. We're going to try to just blast his weapons open with a pre-igniter. We have both weapons available, and then just tear him out from there. And we're not going to... Our hope is to stop him from shooting us because we can't avoid it. Our shields are low, no evasion, so I'm going to send the Artemis out. And if that doesn't hit, even if it does, I'm going to make sure the weapons get destroyed. Okay, so those are low. And this will be one of the few fights where I use more than one Artemis because I'm going to aim for the shields now. Alright, and we should be in a position where I can just burst him down with that laser. But I don't want to take any chances of him getting anything back online and shooting us down, so... Now, had we not had the pre-igniter, that would have been a totally different fight right there. It actually played out really well for us. So a lot of this game is luck of the draw. So you know, we've picked up some pretty good systems early on in the game. Okay, so we're gonna cut the shields and get our engines powered up so we can jump. We'll go to this distress and then we'll pause it and worry about our systems once we land if we have to fight. Um, these can kind of be good or bad. I almost always go down the surface to investigate. If you find a survivor, now this is where it's kind of hit and miss. You can bring them back to your crew, um, and sometimes we get an extra crew member. Sometimes he'll cause trouble. Um, I think I'm in a position where I could probably afford it, so we're gonna try. And he happily offers his service, so which is good. We have another Engie, so we have another repairman. And let's get our systems back online. There we go. And we still have plenty of time before the rebel ships show up, so I'm going to try to knock out a couple extra sectors and get some more scrap before we hit the exit. So, all right, we hit a Mantis ship. Now, Mantis I'm not a fan of. They don't have a crew teleporter, so that's fine. But the Mantis in general, their ability is that they hit really hard. They don't repair really well, but they move fast and they hit hard. So, if you're ever planning on a boarding party, Mantis are the way to go. Now he does have a missile. I'm going to try to take out his weapons with the burst laser. If it doesn't work, then I'll get to show you how the cloaking device works defensively. So really, we're just waiting until he shoots that, if he does, and he decided not to. So basically what you do is you wait till he shoots the missiles, and then when they do, that's when you hit your cloak, because then they'll just fly over you. Okay, so he shot the missile, and then we're going to hit our cloaking button, and it just flies right past us. And then we'll uncloak here shortly. And yeah, problem solved. Now I'll probably get a chance to shoot it again, which that kind of sucks because our cloak won't be up in time. But the total damage suffered, if he had, wouldn't have been too bad. Alright, we got a distress. We're going to look at that. Okay, and here we are going to have a boarding party, and this one's probably going to be bad. We're probably going to get the Rockman and the Mantis. Nope, we got just the Mantis. He's coming in over here. So what we're going to do... well, we want to send someone over there to fight. Let's take a look. Okay, first let's take a look at what we got going over here. He's got a missile launcher, and this one will hurt if it hits us, so we want to keep the cloaking device ready. We're gonna send the Artemis over to take out those if we can, and we're just gonna keep probably sending guys in to fight the Mantis and back up into the med bay. So we're gonna have to dump one off the engines and bring our med bay online. And they don't have enough punching power to actually tear through the shields unless they knock them out. So we're gonna send this guy and both of them in to fight the Mantis. Okay, so that's cool, and I actually want to take the weapons offline entirely. That way these guys are having to spend more time in there putting out the fire than repairing, and that should give us plenty of time to terrorize the rest of the ship and get this guy dead. You'll see over here our guy's life is dropping too. That's one place you can keep track of it. And then when it starts dropping too low, you'll actually hear the beeping sound like you hear now. You may be able to hear it now. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but when they're in the middle of a fight, if that beeping sound goes off, that means someone is low on life, and you can click them over here and move them to a med bay or something. So, thankfully, he was the only one to suffer any damage. These guys didn't, so we can just get them back to where I like to put them. Now, so this guy's about to walk in here. He's almost dead. I'm actually going to try to kill him with the burst laser attack. So we got him. If you can kill the entire crew without destroying the ship, I think that you get more scrap rewards and things like that, which is kind of cool. Now, Rockmen are kind of hard to kill anyway, so Now, even though we haven't taken out the cockpit, you'll see that it still says delayed, and it's because they don't have a pilot. Just like I was saying before, you have to have a pilot for your ship to actually be able to jump. So, no, no, we're definitely not accepting your offer. We're about to tear you apart. Yeah, we got pretty much about the same reward, so that works. We're gonna hit here, then the store, and hit as many places as we can before the exit. Yeah, the Nebulas slow them down just like they do us, so it works out. Still don't need any damage repaired, so we're good there. Let's hit the store and see what they've got for sale. They have heavy ion. I'm looking for the ion bomb though. The Hermes missile is the one the other guy had, and they're really nice because they do a ton of damage and they have excellent shield piercing, but they take 3 power and they require missiles, so it's just, it's not too great of a weapon in my opinion. Um, we are going to buy some fuel. We can afford it, so we're going to load up. And wonder if we shouldn't pick one of these guys up. Nah, I think I'm good on crew right now. There's another crew member in here. You saw the Zoltans. Their power, as it says, they provide power to unoccupied systems, with the exception of having lower health. Basically, I could put him in the engine room, and that one block that's missing would then be there because he provides power to whatever system he's in. So that's kind of what they do. They're another way to have more power than the cap. So if you had like a full 8 crew of Zoltan, once you were capped here, you could still have 8 more total power distributed to your systems depending on where you put them. So it can be pretty nice. I know there's a couple more upgrades we are going to want to make eventually. We're going to have to upgrade our weapons control because we are going to need more weapons to take out the last boss. We won't be able to do it with these two. And then we're either going to need drones for defense or a boarding party, if not both. So we kind of got to play our cards pretty well whenever we get past this sector. We want to start looking for the right items. So this is actually a really soft crew, so this will be an easy one to take out. We're going to punch through with the Artemis on the shields. And he has I wasn't even paying attention. This guy has a defense drone. And what that does is it specifically targets missiles, so I just wasted a missile there. The defense drone 2s will actually target lasers as well, so they can be really nice, but I just wasn't paying attention, and we now know that missiles will be useless here. There's a couple ways we can go about this. We can just continue to target systems like normal. I don't think he has the power to get through, although those types of beams I think might be able to breach shields. Um, we can also target the drone bay and try to knock that out so we can get an Artemis through. The most we'll be able to get through at this point is just one shot, so we might just target the shields and see if we can start knocking it down a bit. Okay, so no, that beam can't get through either, so we're good there. So we got one through. We're going to hit it again and see if we can knock it out entirely. Um, uh, they repair them real quick. This is going to take a while, so let's go ahead and try to aim for the drone bay. If we can knock that out, then we can end this fight real quick. So we're going to actually have to hit it. We're sitting all right. They really can't do much, or they really can't do any damage to us, because our shields are regenerating faster than the ion cannon can shoot. So we can sit here and just target all day, and it's not too big a deal. And that guy's just going to be on repairs no matter what. So we just have to keep targeting the shield down. Um, and that's pretty much going to be it. So this one's just going to be a slow fight. So um, we'll just keep targeting it, and once it's down, it's down. There's not much more we can do. So I think maybe if we can hit the weapons, it might get him to move, and then we can have another shot at one of the furthest systems. And if we can keep him moving, we might be able to do a little more. I don't know. Maybe not, but nothing else that changes the pace a little bit. He repairs really fast. Those Ingies are good at what they do. No, it's not even worth it. The best we can hope for is just to hit him 3 more times and finish it up. So yeah, not every battle in this game is glamorous. This one's rather anticlimactic, but you can't pick every battle you go into, so just got to make the best of it. Thankfully, we're in a position where they can't do any damage to us, so it's kind of just waiting them out. Boarding party would have been really nice here. If we'd used a crew transport, I probably could have sent just a couple of humans in to get the job done. It would have been fine, but that's all right. We have one more sector we can visit before we have to leave. Actually, no, he's going to be over here in time, so we're going to just have to jump now. All right, we're going to stick to the civilian sectors for this. I'm hoping to hit a Zoltan at some point. It may be too late, I'm not sure. But we are in Sector 5 now. So on this, I'm going to end this episode here. We'll cover the next two sectors, 5 and 6, in the next episode, and then 7 and 8 in the fourth episode. So I'll see you then. Thanks.